Welcome back again, and today we will be discussing adjectives. While a noun is a part of speech that is used to name a person, place, thing, an adjective is another part of speech which gives us more information about nouns. In simpler terms, adjectives modify the meaning or describe nouns and add new ideas to nouns and pronouns. In most cases, the adjective goes before the noun or as the complement of a link verb. An adjective also answers the questions: which one? What kind? How many? How much? For example, she is a beautiful girl. The word beautiful in this case would be the adjective to describe the girl's appearance. With a link verb, the adjective will usually follow words as be, become, or feel. Example: I feel ugly. A link verb links to the main verb, which in this past example explains how the subject feels. Don't be confused with link verbs and a link verb and an adjective. It is sometimes possible that adjectives, by the process of nominalization, may function as nouns. Consider the following examples. The clowns are coming. The other is different. The bad always lose. The rich must help the poor. The words ugly, other, bad, rich in the above examples function as adjectival nouns, or nominalized adjectives. What are nominalized adjectives and attributive nouns? There is a difference between nominalized adjectives and attributive nouns are. Nominalized adjectives are adjectives that function as nouns, as in, the poor, the rich, the English. Attributive nouns are nouns that function as adjectives, as in, chicken soup, field player, race car, ladies' room. The first thing you must remember is that adjectives are placed before a noun which they modify, or after a verb like be, feel, seem, or look. Examples: they bought a big house, attributive adjectives. They are nice, predicative adjective. To review, an adjective is a word that describes a noun or noun phrase or pronoun and provides more information. Its role is to change the information given by the noun. Adjectives are usually placed before the nouns they describe. In simple words, adjectives are words that describe the qualities or states of being of nouns: enormous, dog-like, silly, many, etc. So an adjective is a word used with a noun to add something to its meaning. Let's look at these example sentences containing some adjectives. Pretty. That painting is pretty ugly. Clever. Kanchana is a clever girl. Large. Wiscasset, Maine isn't a large city. Honest. Abraham Lincoln was an honest man. Beautiful. Keith bought Gretchen a beautiful diamond ring. Meaningless. Some teachers instruct meaningless lessons. Adjectives can also change in form: bitter, more bitter, bitterest, to show comparison. They are called the 3 degrees of comparison. The adjective bitter is said to be to the positive degree. The adjective more bitter is said to be in the comparative degree. The adjective bitterest is said to be in the superlative degree. There are a total of 13 types of adjectives in English grammar, namely: adjectival noun. Examples would be ugly, bad, rich. Adjuncts. Example: heartily, at noon. Attributive adjectives. Example: dark and mysterious. Descriptive adjective. Example: large, beautiful, careful, hateful, etc. Demonstrative adjective. Example: this, that, these, those, such. Exclamatory adjective. Example: what, how. Interrogative adjective. Example: what, which, whose. Numeral adjective. Example: 5, few, many, several, first, etc. Possessive adjective. Example: my, ours, your, his, her, its, theirs. Predicative adjectives. Example: some, much, little, any, half, whole. Proper adjective. Example: Cambodians, Muay Thai, Wiscasset wines, Philippine Tejo. Quantitative adjective. Examples: some, a lot of. Resultative adjective. Examples: rare, white, clean. The adjectival noun, also referred to as a nominalized adjective, is an adjective that functions as a noun, as in, look at the clown over there. An adjective can sometimes function as a noun, the young, the rich, etc. English often uses nouns as adjectives to modify other nouns. For example, a car that people drive in races is a race car. A car with extra power or speed is a sports car. Try and find the adjectival nouns in this George Harrison song. Everywhere there's lots of piggies. Living piggy lives. You can see them out for dinner. With their piggy wives. Clutching forks and knives. To eat their bacon. An adjunct is part of a sentence and modifies the verb to show time, manner, place, frequency, and degree, and is as such closely related to adverbials. An adjunct is an optional part of a sentence, clause, or phrase that, if removed, will not affect the sentence or its meaning. Example: in the sentence John helped Bill in Central Park, the phrase in Central Park is an adjunct. It is nearly done. Nearly describes the degree to which the action has been done. I go there twice a week. Twice a week describes the frequency with which the action is done. An attributive adjective comes before a noun and not after a verb, like be, seem, etc. For example, in the noun groups dark evenings and mysterious events, dark and mysterious are attributive. Some adjectives, such as southern and indoor, are always attributive. The championship match was the main event on pay-per-view. Jane is my eldest daughter. The old dog cannot learn a new trick. Adjectives of quality or descriptive adjectives show the kind of quality of a person or thing. X beautiful, large, small, etc. The foolish old crow tried to sing. He received a medal for his bravery. Can you fix my broken computer? Liverpool lost the match despite a bright start. Demonstrative adjectives, this, that, these, those, show whether the noun they refer to is singular or plural and whether it is located near to or far from the speaker or writer. This girl is taller than Rosie. This hospital was where I was born. I am not in a situation to lend you money at this moment. The ambience of this cafe is soothing. Exclamatory adjectives are words that is sometimes used as an exclamatory. What a genius! What a blessing! How smart Crab Shack is! What an intricate stone carving! What a well-maintained house it is! Interrogative adjectives are words like what, which, and whose, and when they are used with nouns to ask questions. Whose book is this? Where do you live? Which do you prefer, red or white? Which car would you like to buy? Adjectives of number or numeral adjectives show how many persons or things are meant. This adjective represents numeral value. X8, few, second, some, etc. and answer the question how much or how many. There are three types of numeral adjectives. Definite numeral adjectives. These adjectives are used to refer to cardinal and ordinal numbers. Example: she had 12 books in the 10th class. Indefinite numeral adjectives. These adjectives are used to refer to an unspecified amount or quantity of objects, people, or animals. Example: there are few eggs and some milk in the fridge. Distributive numeral adjectives. These adjectives indicate the singular value of a noun among many. Example: each student was asked to submit their notebooks. Keep in mind, a singular noun and verb are placed after a distributive numeral adjective. Example: each child is writing a letter. Here, child and is are given in the singular form. We use possessive adjectives to express who owns or possesses something. This is used in front of a noun. My, your, his, her, its, our, and there are the English possessive adjectives, used with nouns to show possession or ownership. That's my folder. My is an adjective which shows that I am the owner of the folder. My sister lives in Phnom Penh. His brothers live in Thailand. Her name is Caitlin. Our father is an English teacher. A predicative adjective comes after a linking verb and not before a noun. They also modify or describe the subject of a sentence or clause and are linked to the subject by a linking verb. Andy's sports car is Italian. He seems afraid of the dog. That music sounds wonderful. Adjectives formed from proper nouns are called proper adjectives. Examples: British, Chinese and Americans, etc. The British professor is teaching in the class. A proper adjective is also an adjective that is written with a capital letter. They are often derived from proper nouns. A Japanese camera, Japanese, is derived from the proper noun Japan. However, this is not always the case. Native Americans, native is not derived from a proper noun, but is capitalized as the words together form the name of the group of people. Ordinary adjectives that are not written with a capital letter are common adjectives. Steve is an Australian footballer. Sushi is a Japanese food. I love Chinese writing. My brother likes Italian cars. Adjectives of quantity show how much quantity of a thing is meant. Examples are some, little, whole, 1/4, etc. He ate some rice. He has 40 horses. I have been standing here for 3 hours. Not a single boy is in the classroom. A resultative adjective is an adjective that is placed postpositively, after the noun it modifies, and reflects a change that occurs by action of the verb on the noun. Hence result plus ative. He cooked the meat rare. She painted the fence white. She rinsed the glass clean. An adjective phrase is a prepositional phrase that modifies a noun or pronoun. It follows the noun or pronoun that it modifies. In other words, with adjectives, you describe nouns. With adjective phrases, you describe adjectives. Adjective phrases provide creative descriptions for nouns and create richer sentences. Adjective phrases answers the questions: which one? What kind? How many? How much? It may also modify the object of another prepositional phrase. Examples: some of the ELT courses were good. The phrase of the ELT modifies the word some. It tells which one, or in this case course. The book of grammar sold for $19.95. The phrase of grammar modifies the noun book and answers what kind. Adjective clause. An adverb clause, also called adverbial clause, is a dependent clause, or subordinate clause, which functions as an adverb. Types of adverb clauses. There are many types of adverb clauses. Place: he thinks he will be happy where he has recently moved. Time: he wrote the book when he was 25. Manner: the kids cleaned the room as we wanted. Reason: I forgave him because I liked him. Purpose: they bought a piece of land so that they can build a bigger house. Concession: although he is very old, he runs fast. Condition: if I had a lot of money, I would travel around the world. Comparison: he can run as fast as a world champion. Some rules regarding adjectives. Rule 1. An adjective used attributively is generally placed immediately before the noun. Ex-King Francis was a hardy king and loved a royal sport. Rule 2. In poetry, however, the adjective is frequently placed after the noun. X. Oh man with sisters dear. Rule 3. When several adjectives are attached to one noun, they are sometimes placed after it for emphasis. X. There dwelt a miller hale and bold. Rule 4. When some word or phrase is joined to the adjective to explain its meaning, the adjective is placed after its noun. X. He was a man fertile in the resource. Rule 5. In certain phrases, the adjectives always come after the noun. X God Almighty. Well, that was a lot today. Thank you for being here and I hope to see you next week.